There you go. You can hear me all right?
Yeah, mate. Yep, all good.
All right, cool. Are you just at home?
Yeah. Worked yesterday, so today off.
Okay. Yep. Um, so, mate, you're running 200 Ks in a week. Oh, well, sorry, not 200 Ks in a week. In a week's time, you're going to be doing a trail run that goes for 200 kilometers. And it's something that you...
200 miles.
Oh, sorry, 200 miles.
So
How many kilometers? That's like 400 and something kilometers.
324 and a half I got last year.
Yep. Okay.
So it's just over 200 mile, yeah.
Yeah, right. And trail ride down in Brisbane.
The Brisbane Valley Rail Trail.
Yep. Okay. Yep. And you did it last year as like a bit of a goal, didn't you?
Yeah. So I was just trying to see if I could achieve 200 miles, and the body got me there. So finished that one, had a couple of days rest, and sort of looked at my time, and then looked at the Australian 200 mile trail record time, and I was only an hour 17 minutes off it. So I thought, bloody hell, I think I know I can shave a bit more time off. So yeah, the goal this year is sort of been training and aiming for around that 42-hour mark, just give me a little bit of leeway. But
Yep.
it's a long journey. Well, a lot of things have to go right, and not too many things have to go wrong to really ruin it. But the body and mind's in a good spot at the moment. So but yeah, that all changes as soon as they say go.
Yeah. Last year when you did it, were you even thinking about Australian records? You were just trying to get through, or what was the mentality or the mindset around it then?
The mindset, I just from the start, I said I'm there to complete, not compete. So
Right.
I'm not trying to keep up with anyone, not trying to set anyone's pace for them, or not trying to keep their pace. It's just I run. If I feel like I need to walk, I walk for a bit, and sort of just get checkpoint to checkpoint, town to town, and little you get down to 50k to go, 40k to go, 30k to go, 20k to go, and sort of just got there, just with that mentality of just I'm there just to get to the finish line.
You've been doing a lot of running though. I mean, we know each other through your wife, Tash. She used to train with me, Fitzroy Martial Arts. And that was quite a few years ago. And you were flat out running all the time then. Anyway, like how long have you been running like this for?
So Tash got me back she bugged me into going to park run. And I thought, why the hell would I want to run 5k every Saturday morning? So
yeah,
the backwards and forwards on that, and I guess we both compromised, and I started doing park run. And sort of after the first one, I think I got fucking finished ninth, and it was 24 minutes or something, or 22 minutes. And I thought, maybe I can beat that next week. So go back the next week and get a little bit quicker and a little bit quicker and a little bit quicker, and then it just turned into started with 5k, and now I'm trying to run for as many days as I can.
Yeah. Right. And like typically what's a week of training look like? Like a typical week that, where you're not, obviously you're tapering off now for an event, but just a typical week's training, midway through a camp or whatever.
So sort of like I'd average between events, you sort of average 80, 90, 100k weeks. My peak week in this training block was 190k. I think I got to. I missed out on doing the 200 because I got sick in the middle of it. But yeah, sort of average. I think I've done 2,600 Ks for the year. So I think that averaged to 120k a week since the start of the year.
Yeah, right. And where do you run? Just around Rocky?
Yeah, mainly around south side, around the river and that, because it's relatively flat. And yeah, sort of with the long distance events, it's more you're not worried about your minutes per K. It's just getting your heart rate in a nice even pattern, keeping that as low as you can, and then from there you build your aerobic base, and sort of then your minutes per K slowly increases with less effort.
Right. I guess you just get a little bit more efficient in your running, so you're not like using as much energy, and you're just able to run a bit faster and use less energy. Is that right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So it's like the science behind it is you build sort of your zone 2 is where all the good stuff happens. So you're building capillaries in your muscles and that. So then you're delivering more blood to the muscles, but then at the same time they're not requiring to use it all. Yeah. So it lowers your heart rate and your muscles aren't fatiguing as quickly.
So what would your heart rate be if you were just, like, I don't know, on one of your weekly runs, where would you sort of sit on average?
I think at the moment, sort of sit between, if I'm doing sort of 5:30, 5:20 pace, my heart rate's about 120. So it's really
5:30,
still,
so 5.5 minute kilometers.
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
And the heart
And
rate's
it's
about 120.
about 120. That's pretty good. That's pretty
Yeah,
low.
that's where I want to be. Yeah.
Yeah, right. And for this event, what would your average? Where would your average be? Where would you want to be sitting? Like heart
Um,
rate and minutes per kilometer.
yeah. So I've based everything. So I need to average 7 minutes and 45 minutes per k for the
Yep.
whole event to get me 42 hours. But that also includes rest breaks, having a sleep, things like that. So I'm looking around that, trying to constantly run around that 5:45. So I'll keep the heart rate about 110, and then a couple of walk breaks and that in between.
Yep.
So yeah, anywhere sort of between 120 and 130 is where I want to
Yep.
keep my heart rate the whole time.
Yeah. And so you missed out by 44 minutes, did you say?
An hour 17, I missed the Australian record
Sorry,
by, yeah. So
hour
which is the
17.
equivalent to an hour. That's probably about equivalent to about 10k.
Yeah.
So I just got
Okay.
to do the whole thing 10k quicker.
10K quicker. Okay,
Yeah,
easy. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, but you've got like your team with you. You've got people that are helping you that are going to keep track of, I guess, stuff like this, and I guess help motivate you. And like, oh, come on, you're a bit behind the pace, or we got to start running again, or like, is there that you have that kind of help, like that kind of teamwork?
Yeah. So we've got sort of got a little Excel spreadsheet I've made up, the distance between each towns, sort of what time I got there last year, what time I need to get there this year in comparison to the record time and the 42 hours sort of. So I know
Yeah,
what time of day I need to leave each town. But that's up to the crew. I just get in, change my vest and that, and just want to know the distance to the next town and
yeah.
let me know if I'm on track. So my main pacer, Hayden, who did it with me last year, we've made the decision that we're friends for the first 100 mile. And then
Okay.
100 mile back, he just gets to yell and scream and do whatever he needs to, because it's me
Yeah,
against the time on the way back, pretty much.
yeah. Right. And who's your team? Who have you got helping you out?
So crew chief again will be Mum. So she was there. I think there's 22 aid stations along the way. Last year she was at 20 of them. So she's
Yeah.
really keen. Hayden Rogers he'll be probably my main pacer. I've also got Simon Poole from Movement Improvement. He's coming down to crew, so he's a physio there, so he'll be able to do his voodoo on me as
They're
I
good,
reach
eh?
each town.
The guys that move and improvement are good, hey.
Yeah, they're awesome. I've probably been going there once a month for 7 years, and yeah,
Yeah,
have no
right.
complaints. We've also got Alan Harwood from CQ Podiatry.
Yeah.
He's coming down. He'll do a bit of crewing and whatever voodoo he thinks my feet need. So yeah, we've got
Okay.
good crew around me. And even my brother might come down. He's trying to see if he can get enough time off work to fit it in. So yeah, family and very specific sort of like the physio and podiatrists are there just to keep the body in one piece as best
Yeah.
they can.
So, what's just like I'm interested to know because I guess I've done a lot of competing myself, but I've never really done long distance events or anything that requires like a lot of stamina. I've like been a fighter, so the most time that I'm in there is like 20 minutes, half an hour, like.
Mm.
But to be running for nearly 2 days, what's the mindset like when you go into doing something like that? Are you thinking much, or you just
Nah, I've always found if I can just completely switch off, just stop all thought process, have a little bitch and moan to yourself that everything hurts and you're tired and you're sore and that, but you don't let that echo through your head. You just, even if you say it out loud, you get it out of the system, and then you just put one foot in front of the other, and you just keep doing that and keep doing that, and it might be another hour, and you go, my hips are really sore, so you just yell it out because there's no one around. So just yell it out, get out of your system,
Yep.
and then take the next step, and then take the next step, and then take the next step.
Yeah. I love that. That's yeah, that's really cool. I imagine it to be quite a meditative kind of an experience. You just sort of get into a rhythm and then you're just in that rhythm and just in it. Is that
Yeah. So
right?
yeah, if you can, that's probably the biggest thing with running is if you can find that nice, comfortable rhythm and just stay there. Yeah, it does get a little bit hypnotic.
Yeah.
And sort of like I only slept for 20 minutes last year, so you're awake for 2 days essentially. You've had 20 minutes sleep, and yeah, things become a blur. And there's sections of the course last year I don't remember running on, and and now because I'm going a little bit quicker, I'll be at different points of the course at different times. So there'll be
Yeah.
parts that I was running during the night, then I'll be running during the day, and there'll be parts that was there during the day, but it'll now be night time, so it'll be a little bit different. So it's the same course, but a different course.
Yeah. Okay. I imagine like you're running all through the night and then morning hits and you get that sunrise coming up and maybe getting a bit of sun on your face. That'd be a pretty good feeling, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Probably that's probably the worst time to run is just as you're getting sunrise. I think that
Uh,
it drops 5 degrees for half
Hold
an
up.
hour, and then
Yeah.
once the sun's up, yeah, and it hits you and you start warming your face and warms the body up again, and yeah, you can really start trying to push it a little bit harder.
Yeah. So what like I guess like it's a bit of a personal challenge. Like see where you started and what Tash got you starting to run and doing it there, and then you got to it just as a like I guess just as a bit of your own psychological challenge, or is it just to stay healthy and fit? I guess I'm just sort of wondering why you do it.
With me, I've never really, probably going people call that me bullshit. I've never tried to be over competitive about it.
Yeah.
When it comes to running, I'm just trying to be the better runner than I was yesterday. So if I can make 0.5% improvement, 1% improvement, day in day out, then that's all I'm really aiming for. And yeah, it was just you get amongst the running community, I'm running 5K, and then someone will go, well, why aren't you running 10K?
Oh, yeah.
And you go, oh, okay, so start running 10Ks, and you do that, and well, what about half marathons? Okay, I'll start
Yeah.
doing that, and yeah, you just sort of that community around you sort of eggs you on, and then
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, sort of getting into the ultra world was sort of a complete accident. I just signed up for a 12-hour charity run,
Yeah.
and I thought to myself, how far can I run in 12 hours? End up with 115K.
Yeah.
That was
Righto.
that was my first. So I think my previous before that was like a 50K run. So sort of just a challenge myself to see what I could do in 12 hours. And
Yeah. Right. Huh. Yeah, I mean, I'm starting to think like, I wonder what I could do in 12 hours. I know I'm not much of a runner. I mean, I've definitely done more running later in my sort of uh, fitness, health journey, I suppose, than, I didn't really do a lot at the start, but I'm sort of enjoying it more the more that I do it. But it's quite slow at the moment. Like, yeah.
if you've got a pair of shoes and you put them on, you go outside, you're a runner.
Okay. Yeah. Well, um, I think not a lot of people. I could get a lot of people to do runs, like when I'm coaching and that kind of stuff. And it can be criticized a little bit because it's not very specific to what we're actually doing. Like if we're boxing, a lot of people that are boxers, they run, and that's mainly because a lot of those guys that box, they come from sort of the wrong side of the tracks or whatever you want. So they don't have a lot of money. They can run. Like it's one thing they can do. They don't need any money to be able to run, and it's hard. Like it's hard work.
Mm.
We've got a hill just around near our house, and I call it Death Hill, and it's it's long and it's steep and it's terrible, but yeah, it's hard. Gets you fit,
Yeah.
gets you really fit. Yeah. So do you do any weights or anything as well? Any cross training for it?
No, well, as a chippy man, I'm constantly sort of lifting heavy things and getting into weird positions. So I say that's my cross training and my strength and conditioning training.
Yeah.
And I think if I signed up for a gym, I wouldn't fit the time in. And two,
Yeah.
I'd probably also be going through a divorce because I'd never be home then.
Yeah. You got 2 kids. And I know it's like being an athlete. I mean, you're kind of torn between work and your passion for whatever that that sport is, being an athlete, and then home time. Hey, and it's like it's a juggle between the three, and it's hard. And I realize sometimes, I used to feel quite guilty when I'd be at training, like, oh, I really should be at home, and then I'd be at home and I'd be with the kids, and I'm thinking, man, I should be training.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, well, it's tough there, isn't it? But that's good, man. And I've only just caught you, like I just reached out to, say g'day. And I only sort of caught you at the end of your journey. So you've got a week left to go. You're tapering off, and what is your preparation, like your final preparations, look like?
I'm just trying to actually get a bit of time off the feet. Let the legs relax, let all the joints relax, and just sort of do another between now and the start line. I'll probably only do another 30 or 40k. Even that'll be very light. Probably bit of walking involved there too, just to really let the legs refresh. And travel down Wednesday and start midnight Thursday night.
Midnight Thursday night, hey?
Mm.
Yeah, right. So just under a week.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
exciting.
running miles isn't bad enough. They also start you at midnight.
Yeah. What about food? What I mean, like, what kind of food are you eating now?
Just high carb. Just get as many carbs, protein, even fats in because I lost between 8 and 10 kilos last year during the run. And then on course, a lot of liquid nutrition. Mum will have some toasted singers and bacon eggs and things like that just to be going. But yeah, a lot of snacks and a lot of liquid nutrition.
Yeah. I've done a couple of paddles. Like I've been a support paddler for swimmers.
Mm-hmm.
Just the swim around Keppel, and earlier this year I went to New Zealand to help a guy swim from Stewart Island at the bottom of New Zealand back to Bluff, which is the bottom of New Zealand, and it was a long swim. He didn't finish, unfortunately. It was just the seas were too rough. It wasn't a great time. It was really cold. He got hypothermia, but we were feeding him a lot of gels and peaches and that kind of stuff just to keep the energy up. Do you take those gels?
Yeah, sort of between towns, I will have gels just to keep the carbs up and that. But because you're going for so long, you can't rely wholly and solely on them. You still need solid foods. So still trying to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Just make them as easy as digestible as possible. But yeah, just getting solid foods. And a lot of trouble people have is they'll forget to eat and forget to drink. So then when they do put something in, their stomach's already turned off. So there's not enough blood there to help digest it. So your body goes, well, this is time matter, and boom, brings it back up, and then you're in the hurt locker really bad. Then it's hard to then reboot your system. So if you can keep a bit of blood flow going to your stomach constantly, when you do take that food on, your body will absorb it.
Right. Yeah, I didn't realise that. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. What about just sticking it in a blender or a Nutribullet? Like you gotta, like bacon egg sandwich, you just Nutribullet it.
Well, that's because you're going town to town to town to town. Unless you got a generator, you've got nowhere to do that sort of thing. So it's trying to find that balance of what you can cook on a stovetop. This is like your gas burner stovetop. We've got a little plug-in sandwich press now, so we can have toasted sangers along the way. Just chuck that into the back of the unit, hit them up. But it's a balancing act of finding what's yummy and what's edible and what's actually possible.
Yeah. I guess what you like to. I mean, I can imagine having something to eat would sort of boost your morale or boost your spirits a little bit too. Give you something else. Yeah.
Yeah, I had me sleep last year, and that just sausages on bread, and I can tell you now they were better than Bunnings ones.
Yeah.
It was about 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. Yeah, just the old snag on bread and get on the feet and get going.
Yeah, right. Yep. I guess that's probably not a bad thing. I mean, lots of fats and oils in it, carbohydrates with the bread, and that you didn't sit badly in your stomach, like it felt all right. Like,
Nah, yeah, I've cast iron stomach. It takes a bit to upset my stomach, but
okay, yeah,
yeah, usually anything I chuck in is pretty good.
yep. Okay, great. So, looking at, so you only got to get under 42 and a half hours.
Yep.
So you're thinking like you're going to smash it, or you just want to make it at that time, like 42?
Yeah, everything's planned around get a 42-hour finish. So
Yep. Half an
I
hour,
think
half an hour earlier.
half an hour. Yeah, if I can break the record by half an hour, that'd be awesome. If I beat it by a second, it's still a win.
Yeah, still in, yeah.
But the biggest thing is if you don't get to the finish line, you can't break the record. So the first
Yep.
goal is to finish, and then
Just
the
to
second
finish,
goal
yeah.
is to break the record.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess that's something I always talk about with guys is like setting a high bar and a low bar. What you want to achieve at least, as long as I finish, like we're good. But that might be the low bar, but then the high bar is break the Australian record, right?
Yeah,
And then
that's it.
that's the stretch goal, the stretch target. Yeah. Oh, are you excited? Are you feeling like, do you get nervous or anything like that?
Nah, it's just another run. It's just a long training run. Yeah, you do all the hard work in your training to make the event the easy part.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're getting into the event and you're going, if you're 20K and you go, I'm really fucking hurting, then you haven't done enough of your training. So to me, and what I'll try and tell people is the event is your reward for all your hard work.
Oh yeah,
Do
yeah.
all the
That's a
hard
good way of
work
looking at
and
it.
reward yourself with the event.
Yeah. So I guess it's not really nerves; it's just excitement. You're just happy to be there.
Yeah.
And go
Always
through it.
happy to tell a start line.
Yeah. Is there many other people, or is it just you?
There, last week there were 3 of us starting, and the last update I had, there's only 2 of us starting now. So,
Okay.
it could be a very lonely run from the very start.
Yeah. Right. So only 2 people, you and one other person.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And are they at your level? Are you guys at similar levels? Or?
I do not know. I just know there's another person starting. So
You don't know
nah.
who they are.
Nah.
Okay. Yeah. I guess it doesn't really matter. You're not really, going to be chit chatting along the way anyway. You're just going to be head down doing your own thing, eh?
That's it. Yeah. Spend a lot of time training by yourself, knowing that an event it could be the fact that the only people you see are your crew along the way.
Yeah. Yeah. So interesting. Mate, I really admire what you're doing, and I love your mindset around it, and just your attitude. Like it's so cool, and I love how it's just like you said before, you just want to improve and just want to keep getting better, and it's not really about anybody else. It's just about you and you being better for you. I guess there's a lot of satisfaction in that, eh?
Yeah.
And yeah, great, good on you, man. Well, I wish you all the best of luck. I know you're gonna smash it. Like you just seem to be on. Like you seem to be dialed in and relaxed, and I guess that's like the perfect combination, the perfect balance. Hey.
Yeah. Just one eye's always on the prize, but you got your plans and everything, but I also know you've got to be flexible with that. That not everything's going to go to plan, so you need to
Yeah.
sort of adapt and move on, and sort of what's happened, and what's going to happen, we try and control to the best we can.
Yeah. Out of all this running, this big journey, you've probably come to your own sort of realizations with doing all this stuff. Is there anything that stands out to you that has sort of been like a light bulb moment where you've realized something and you're going, this has been a valuable lesson. I'm glad that I've been doing all of this. something that you would want to share, or something that you would want to, let other people know that you've learned that may help them?
I think if you can look at what other because there's plenty of people that are at a higher level than me, you sort of just try and peek behind the curtain a little bit and have a chat with them and see what they're doing, and then even just pick out bits and pieces. I might try this, and I might try this, and I might try this, and you know, this might not work, but this might work for you. So you take that and you put that in your own your memory bank. So things like nutrition, the gear that you carry, and definitely the support team around you. Like a lot of the guys will be very specific with their crew, because they know mum's going to try and bullshit to me the whole time along, and she'll want me to stop, but I've got Hayden there to go, shut up, mum, Rhys needs to keep going. So you pick and choose, their personalities. Probably mum's got this great saying is she doesn't understand why the hell I do this, but she's going to support me the whole way.
Yeah.
It's like, it's running 200 miles. Like, it's just dumb. It has no point. Especially with this one, you run north for 100 miles and then you turn around and come back to where you started. So wouldn't you just stay where you started and you end up in the same spot?
Why bother?
Yeah, and it's the same with like the backyard ultras. You do a 6.7K loop, and you do that every hour on the hour. You're going around circles, literally going around circles for an hour, and do that for as many times as you can. So you sort of the backyard ultras is where I started really getting into the ultras. And then there's a couple of the big guys there that are running for 3 and 4 days, just doing 6.7Ks, and you manage your micro sleeping, your nutrition, keeping your body good. So you learn hints and tricks on that of what sort of things you use to treat yourself. Chafe creams, sort of experiment with them to find which ones you like and don't. And especially events like this, which are point to point, probably the most important thing to carry on you at all times is toilet paper.
I never thought of that.
Because you've got 20K or so between towns, and if you get halfway and you feel the urge and you're not running another 10K, you just take 2 steps off the track and do what you got to do, and get on again.
Yeah, mums, turn away.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I can imagine my mum. Hey, she's like, I've seen it all before.
Yep, that's it.
Oh yeah. Oh, cool, mate. So, any life lessons that you've got out of this? I guess I can see my own as like, keep going, don't quit. All of this kind of thing. What is it for you?
With running, I tell people not to start because it's more addictive than heroin.
Yeah.
But it's good for you, and I hope at the end of the day it is also cheaper. No, for me, it's just time away from sort of everything. I can let the world do what it needs to do, and I'm just there doing my thing for me training runs and that. So I can just switch off and let my problems melt away for a couple of hours or whatever, and then finish running and get back to reality. But for me, it's just cheap or somewhat cheap therapy. And you do see those small improvements along the way, and then you start picking off little challenges to try and accomplish.
Yeah, so good. Yeah, I guess it is kind of. I know it's like myself, training. It's therapy for me, and I just to forget about the world for a little while, and just be in in my body, just be feeling my body and just doing that. And then when you get back, you have to pick up those bags or those responsibility. It just seems a lot lighter. It seems easier. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's this. You learn a lot about yourself while you're by yourself, and you might pick up on a few flaws here and there, but overall, for me, just it's not even the physical impact of it; it's the mental and spiritual impact that you get out of it. Especially if I do get this record, I can turn to the kids and go, if you put your mind to it and you want it bad enough, and you want to train for it and put in the hard work, you're going to get the rewards.
Yeah, so good. Hey, last question. What's next after this? Like, what have you got anything that you're thinking about after doing this? Or is it just like have some downtime? Or are you just gonna wait and see?
Well, the Yeppoon Marathon is at the end of July, so I think it's 5 weeks
Yeah.
break. So I did that backed up after that last year. And then I'm looking at doing a backyard ultra in the Glasshouse Mountains for New Year's. So that'll be sort
Oh,
of,
yeah.
so I'll get the marathon out of the way, which is going to friggin' hurt because your body just never can't recover in the 5 weeks in there, but that's fine. And then yeah, just take a little bit of time off after Yeppoon, and then do a 2 or 3 month training block going into New Year's.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So you got the rest of the year planned out as well.
I wouldn't say it's planned out, but it's things
Well.
penciled in. Yeah.
Yeah. Like all going according to plan.
Yeah.
Ideal world. Like, yeah, that'd be great. See how
Yeah.
you go. One step at a time. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, mate. Well done. And you're a fucking warrior, mate. Like, good on you. So
I'm just
good.
an idiot with a pair of running shoes, mate.
You've got the Forrest Gump beard, man. Oh, so good, mate. Thanks so much for your time, sharing your story. Really appreciate it.
Nah, thank you, mate. Thanks for having this chat. It's awesome.
All right, hang on a minute. Just gonna stop